Let's see what I can do with this Mitchell makeup. This actually, believe it or not, isn't even all off it. I do have an order coming, and I apologise if you can hear the insane storm outside. I don't know where it came from, but there you go. So I do have a couple of steps that are actually missing, and I'm going to go off camera and do them, and then we will come back. Right, back, I've just filled my brows in. I'm going to use the Blur Primer in LBL4. So this is just like a glowy primer, and it's actually really nice for, well, this shade in particular, something that'll sit under your makeup but isn't like a glow product. So obviously a lot of the glowy products that you put under your makeup are supposed to be like bronzy or to give your skin like a bronze sort of like boost, but this is literally just, oh, it's so pretty. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of his pore paste in my T-zone because I do have like open pores there. This I find is like super silicone-y. It kind of reminds me of the Benefit Professional. I've just done a really quick eye look, and I'm going to peel off the tape. I apologise if you can hear FIFA in the background. My fiance's in that room. I use this, which is the camera roll palette, and this is completely insane. Like, you can put a photo in the front and make it a photo frame, which is something I've never seen before. It's like literally incredible. But I just use the shade Dawn to do my base colour, the shade Night Palm in the outers, and then the shade here to make my wing. I actually need to try his pencil liners, like the cold liners, so let me know what they're like if you've tried them. I am going to take one of the foil films. It's literally the only shade that doesn't have the sticker on it, but I'm going to just put a wee bit of that on the back of my hand and then use a fluffy brush to distribute that all over my eye. I do have Drip in front of me as well, and I just feel like Drip gets a lot of hype. The foil film, I haven't really seen it getting a lot of hype, but it is like, I mean, that just speaks for itself. It is incredible. If you're a fan of like the Urban Decay Moondust shadows, I would highly recommend getting these. Again, a lot of the stuff is like, it reminds you of other stuff, but Made by Mitchell is a really affordable brand, so yeah, I would highly recommend getting your hands on some if you haven't already. For me, I think the best place to buy it is TikTok Shop. That is where they do like all their like launches and stuff from. But I know they also have a website and they sell on a couple of other retailers as well, so you can actually get them on like Beauty Bay and stuff. So we've primed, we've done an eye look really quick. One thing I don't have is mascara, and I'm not sure if Mitchell actually does mascara. I feel like he does, but this video is probably going to point out like the areas and the gaps that I have in my Mitchell's stuff, and that's going to probably prompt me to do another order. Not as if I need more makeup, but when the brand is as good as Made by Mitchell is, like, what can you do? I'm going to use the Build Foundation in LB8, and I'm actually just going to blend this in with one of his brushes. It is the MF27. Mitchell's brushes, it's another area where I don't particularly have a lot of. I'm going to use the foundation. I do have the Truth Tint as well. The Truth Tint was more like my summer foundation. This is kind of more just like an everyday foundation that is just like the coverage, and you can still see the glow from that primer. And one thing I find about Made by Mitchell's base products is that like you can tell that they're all made like in a series, like they all work really well together. And what I find when I'm mixing like products is if you go like different brands with different products, there's always a danger of it like lifting whatever it is underneath it, or like pilling, or just looking not great. With the Made by Mitchell stuff, like, yeah, I have tried it on over other primers. The foundation, it sits so well. You see how it just literally like evened out my whole skin tone? like took away all like the sort of redness that you can see around my eyes. And again, this is in shade LB8, so if you're my shade twin, that's what one you want to pick up. And that is the Build foundation, and it is like also a foundation that you can wear on a night out. You've probably guessed it, it does say it in the name. It is very buildable. It's honestly just beautiful. And then I'm going to go in with the last in that like sort of complexion range that they were all released together, which is his Brighten Concealer. I have it in the shade LBR7. It was actually really useful, and Mitchell does this in a lot of his launches, where if he's launching multiple products together, he will do like a cheat sheet almost of like, if you are this shade in this, buy this shade in this. So I think that's how I found my concealer shade, because they launched the concealer and the foundation at the same time. And I'm almost sure that I was at my desk, I was still teaching at the time when they launched, and I was like trying to get on, because one thing with Mitchell is he goes big for every launch, but a lot of the time stuff sells out, and I was like, obviously didn't really love my job, hence why I left, but I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not missing out on made by Mitchell launch. Right, this is where it's going to start to get tricky, because I do want to use my curve case. However, I think I am going to do half my curve case and half the blush bronze, just to show you a range of the product. So this is the shade Shady Business in the blush bronze, and I'm just going to use the same exact brush. One thing with the blush formulas is they literally just disappear into your skin. Like, you know how with some bronzers, like, you need to work and work and work and work, like, that is just not the case for this. Like, oh my god. And then I'm going to use the curve case on the other side so that you can see the difference in the formulas and the finishes. So this is my curve case. I have the shade, it must be light, I think. And I'm just going to take, so this is Shady Business, I'm just going to take Cream Carve, which is the next one down. And they are literally so creamy that, like, you watched, I didn't even, like, I barely dipped that brush in. This is honestly a little warmer than Shady Business, so you'll definitely be able to tell, but we can definitely fix it. That's what the base is looking like so far. Now this is my favourite part, and this is honestly like where I am weak. Is the blush. Now, not only do I have my curve case, but I have this, which is the Curve Case Collective. It is 24 blush shades. Then I have a blush balm, and God knows how many, uncountable liquid blush, but I think it would be a shame to not use this. So again, I bought this on launch day. I do actually think that he has done quite a few like offers on this, where you can get it for cheaper than like the initial retail price, but this is what we're working with. I'm actually going to go in with Sweet Cheeks just up here. And again with these, like, these are perfect for somebody, if you're like me and you are very indecisive with your blush. So I have taken that, it's quite pink, but my outfit's pink, so I am actually going to add in a wee bit of this Posy Rosy just to intensify it a wee bit. And the thing with these is, like, yes, they're really pigmented, but if you just go like lightly, then it is definitely, it can be made subtle, it can be made buildable. For me, subtle and buildable are not two words that I like to use in the same sentence as my blush. I like to be like, I like to look like a lobster. Made by Mitchell is definitely one of the most underrated products. I mean, like the consistency of these, the formula of these, the shade range, oh my god. The Holly Pop collection has just launched at the time of my filming this, and I have ordered it on launch day and it's due in 2 days, so you best believe I will be sitting like this at my front door waiting on my postman on Wednesday morning. Now, before we actually powder, I do want to put a wee bit of highlighter on this. Now, if you use the Blur Radiance Primer, the chances of you needing highlighter are slim to none. However, I just feel like it would be a shame to not showcase the sparkly curve case, the Comet case. The Comet case has actually come out with a couple of variations as well. The Comet case, the new version, I'm not sure, can't remember. Anyway, and the Slip Dew, I'm so excited to get the Holly Pop Slip Dew, so I'm gonna leave that one and do it on one cheek, and we'll do something from here on the other. Now, I think I'm gonna go with Candy Trip. Actually, maybe we'll mix a wee bit of Pink Lynx in there as well. I actually could do like 6 full faces to show you all this properly, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blush lights that I can see on top of this box, and obviously I only have 2 cheeks, so yeah. The other cheek then, we are going to do the Slip Dew in Wet Peach. The Curve Case Collective, the 60 shades one, actually does have a pink in it that has quite a bit of shimmer in it as well. So if you are going to pick up something and you want to like cover all bases of like blush, there are some like bronzer shades in there too, and then there's a wee shimmer like blush hopper highlighter kind of vibe in there, so I would highly recommend that. Oh my god, these are so freaking underrated. Like maybe Mitchell Slip Dew and Shine Slime are like 2 of the most perfect products ever, and they are just so criminally underrated. Now, moving on. Baked. This is his recent, I was going to say most recent launch, but he just launched Holly Pop, so not most recent launch, but one of, this is the Fairy Dust version of the powder, and it literally, the one, like, I wouldn't even say complaint, but the one, like, look at that, that was completely sealed. When you take, like, the plastic seal off to get to the powder, it doesn't reseal properly, so the powder just literally goes everywhere. But for a finish like that, it's fine. It's fine. It's not even that much of a big deal. Mitchell, we're good. We're good. I'm just going to lightly set my T-zone. Can you see all that powder rising? And then I am going to take my Eyelights palette, and I have this in Daylight, and I'm going to just use the shade Ascend on a smaller powder puff. I'm really go specifically right here, just to brighten that under eye. You can see the difference. That's with the brightness, and that's without the brightness. And the thing with these, when you like team them up with the baked powders, is that they don't sit heavy on your skin. So that's with no filter. Yeah, made by Mitchell. He just does it every time. Like, powder products is going to be hard for me too. because not only do I have the same curve case but in pressed powder version, but I also got both blush books and the bronze book. So for this, just to differentiate a wee bit, I am going to go in with the blush book, the bronzer book, and I'm going to use the shades Mushroom Bloom and Ginger Biscuit, just to give a wee bit of powder bronze to the perimeters of my face. These are also really good for eyes as well, so the whole trend of like putting a bit of bronzer through the crease, this literally has a bronzer for, I was going to say everybody's crease, but you know what I mean. So that's perfect. The blush books, are these discontinued? I think so. I know they were discontinued and they came back. This is the original one. It's definitely still my favourite of the two. I am going to use Rose and Hint of Innocence. And where is my powder puff? We need to dull that down a little bit. Right, the other like glaringly obvious, other than like mascara and brows, that I don't have from Mitchell is his Liquid Lock setting spray. I'm not sure why, honestly. I know there must have been something going on for me not to pick it up at the time. I just don't know what. So for that reason, I'm gonna spritz my face and I'll be right back. I'm back and I sprayed my face, and then I added a wee bit of this, which is the Gel Glaze Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Night Owl, just with my finger to my eyelid because I wanted it a wee bit more sparkle. Now, this is the face once it's been spritzed. Do I put liquid highlighter on? Why not? Right, I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of Biscuit Fish. I'm just going to take it on the back of my hand and dab the flat end of a beauty sponge into it so that I can show you what they look like. I mean, you've probably seen them before, but you're here, so. This is a Mitchell Beauty Blender as well. I'm sure you can still get these. So that's with our liquid highlighter on. Now, for the final step, I am going to line my lips with the All Lip No Trip in the shade Honeysuckle. I think I'm actually almost out of this. And then the last thing we're going to do is put a little bit of liquid lipstick in the middle. Actually, we'll put a wee bit of gloss on today. I don't usually gloss a lip like this, but to show you the gloss, I think I will. Just to find the outline a wee bit more. And then we will use a little bit of the Bare Lip Oil in the shade Shook Up, just to give that like wee bit more pinkiness to the lip so it matches the cheek. And then this is where you usually go in with a setting spray. That is a bit of the Beam Sugar in Frosty Tips. And there's actually like so many things that I have in here that I didn't get to use. So like for example, the pressed curve case, the Bold Balm concealers, the Truth Tint. I have so many lip oils, lip glosses, liquid lipsticks. I have a 59 other shades in that curve case collective. I have the powder bronzer, and among so many other things. Like Mitchell, his brand and what he's done with it is just honestly incredible. So I'm really looking forward to getting my Hollypop collection, and I will definitely be making an order to fill in the gaps that I've missed out. But this is the final look. So this has been a full face of Made by Mitchell.